For the October plan with me, we'll use muted autumn colors and cute floral doodles, what else, to create another pattern play cover page. Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Shayda Campbell and it's time for the October plan with me. Let's open up my Archer and Olive notebook. This was a new notebook in September and we did a September cover page where the pattern, the floral pattern, actually becomes a landscape. Then you've got this Dutch door weekly layout which spans 2 weeks at a time. And then if you have a busy lifestyle, who doesn't? It's nice to kind of set up for 2 weeks at a time. So we'll keep it similar for October, a pattern cover page where we combine a few simple floral doodles into something much more magical by bringing them together. Now, before we get started, I just want to mention that patrons can grab my cover page as a coloring page. That's available at patreon.com/Shayda Campbell, and it's only $3 a month to become a member and get access to all the backlog of bonus content. I'm starting by sketching a heart. It's like, draw a heart, and all of a sudden you can't. You're like, my heart looks weird. I just marked the center of the page and sketched it out, got rid of all the pencil marks. And here's what we're going to do. Using muted autumn colors and little floral doodles, we're going to fill in the heart. So fairly simple, but good bang for your buck, as I like to say. And I am starting with one of my larger floral designs, which is the sunflower. So I'll sketch a circle or oval and then put these different shaped petals all around. So some of the petals are very thin, they're all curving, and some are truly just one thin line. And that makes, I think, a nice shaggy looking sunflower. So do a whole bunch of those, group some together, put some on their own. And then grab a brown marker and we'll start doing just some dotting at the center, maybe leave a little bit of page, a little bit of white showing through as a highlight. With the sunflowers looking good, we'll continue our floral pattern by adding the next floral doodle. And mine is going to be a beautiful burgundy, like very simple 5-petal flower. So I sort of do these heart-shaped petals and I'll do 3 or 4 or 5 petals. Sometimes I shorten that front petal, that bottom petal, I just make this horizontal line and that gives that illusion that the flower is kind of blooming up and out, gives you a little more depth perspective. That's just one of my old tricks. And then once you've done some of those, I think instead of doing another doodle, what I'll do is actually start to add some leaves and stems. And then from there, we can see how our pattern looks and decide what size and shape of floral doodle to add next. So I'm using a Copic brush marker for this. I really love them for being able to do really, really thin lines. And then really you treat it like a paintbrush where you just run that brush across the page, add a little extra pressure, and you can make these beautiful organic leaf shapes. Tombow brushes are also great for this. I just love that Copic marker color. And then now that I've got my leaves and stems in place, I put stems on the sunflowers, I want to add a smaller floral doodle. So definitely doing flower doodles of different shape and size is so important. So the asters now I can do quite small compared to the sunflowers, and the color is really hitting with this this pattern because it's sort of a modified muted primary palette where we've got magenta, a dark yellow, and a periwinkle blue. So sort of red, yellow, blue, you get it. Put a little brown dot in the center of all my asters. And then I think what this pattern needs now is a really small doodle. So we've gone from large, the sunflower, to small with the aster. Now we need something teeny tiny and delicate. So I'm doing sort of a berry, or you could call it a leaf, whatever. And I can make that all different shapes and sizes. Berries or this type of leaf is great for filling in space because, you know, you could have 2 little berries where you need it, or you could have 7, a grouping of 7 over here where you've got a larger space. And then I do that really thin little stem as well, and that's filling in the heart, so you're starting to see the heart shape. I can also add some more leaves where I need them. That will help fill in the entirety of our heart form. And then at this point, I was kind of standing back and looking at it, and I felt that it needed more little leaves kind of going outside of the heart perimeter. So it just looked too stiff. I actually found that putting some little petals and leaves going outside of that pencil line helped the whole thing look a lot better and just more organic, I suppose. So yes, the heart is coming together. All I need to do now is add detail. So I took a darker brown and went around the perimeter of the sunflower stamens. I took the dark purple that I had used for the berries and gave a stamen or center to those burgundy flowers. And yeah, she's looking good. Just a reminder, you can get my color palette list over on Patreon. You can sign up at the free level if you do not want to pay. The color list is available for everyone. Let's erase the pencil lines that remain. This is just looking so pretty. I'll say it again, good bang for your buck. It's simple, but it's really effective. It's giving a little Instagram 2014 like cutesy illustration, and then I can put the little flag down below. So just took the chisel tip of the periwinkle Copic marker there and did a nice banner, and then we're just going to write October 2024. And that's it. The power of the pattern is that you take easy-to-do doodles, and by putting them together, you make something really grand. I've been very into asters lately. I just did an aster pattern on my Dutch door weekly layout, so I feel like the flow of the journal is good at this point. I'm going to skip a page there because of the bleed through, but I'll also glue those pages together, making a nice thick page for my cover that acts as a bookmark for my October month. And then I'm going to fold the Dutch door in the center here. That gives me a great place to keep to-do lists and notes like on the back side. It also gives you a wonderful spot to add some doodles, but you still have a lot of room for your weekly layout, which gets a whole page. My journal at this point, I mostly just use for to-do lists. I love to have a daily to-do list and just see what I need to get done that day. And that's really what my bullet journal has become to me, just a place to write down the things I want to do that day. And then, as I said, on the back of that Dutch door, I'm also keeping like major to-do lists, reels I want to film, YouTube video ideas, things I need to get done just in a general weekly sense. I just love writing things down. I find it so helpful. And I love the aspect of journaling where you do a little bit of art, but it's kind of low stakes. Like you're not creating a whole painting. You're just doing a nice, Dutch door pattern, and it's just for you. You're the only one that really sees this. So I really like that sort of calm, low stress aspect of it. And for this pattern, I'm pulling the colors that we used in the cover page. So I started with asters, but this time I did a really light blue one as well. Then instead of sunflowers, I'm using the same colors and doing Black-Eyed Susan. So it's a sort of daisy with those dark yellow petals. Then I decided to take a nice red. So still thinking about that kind of modified primary palette. And I did rose hips. So just simple ovals, berries, and I've left big highlights on them. And I think I need to add a few more asters. I decided to add some that are very shaggy, very light. And it's around this point that you can see the pattern really coming together. I always find at the point where you have 3 different doodles, in this case, rose hips, asters, and Black-Eyed Susans, you can really see, oh yeah, this pattern is working, it's coming together. I'm going to add some brown stems to the rose hips, and then I think it's time to start giving everything some leaves. Now, just a friendly reminder that your leaves and stems don't have to be green. In this case, I think the muted green kind of works with the autumn color palette, but I also think it would have been nice to do the leaves like a navy or brown or burgundy, just doesn't have to be green basically. And sometimes with a fall or winter palette, I find changing out that green can really help with the nice warm colors and can make some magic. So yes, lots of thin little lines, leaf shapes, just got a little like nice and wild. And that was sort of fun to fill in all the negative space and just go crazy. Put some brown dots on the center of the asters, did a few more stems and branches in there, and she's looking good. We're going to take a black fine liner and write the date. Remember, all of my favorite supplies, my favorite pens, the markers, they're all linked in the video description, so you can shop them on Amazon and get exactly what I'm using if that's of interest to you. I put some little dots on the rose hips that really made them pop. Did a few more really tiny asters, and then I decided to come in with a purple and just add some details to those really light blue flowers. I think that helps them pop a little more and makes them stand up to the rest of the bold colors in the pattern. Yeah, we just need a couple more of those. The nice thing about the Patreon content, the printable cover page that is a coloring page, is you could print out a couple and try different color palettes, see what really works. So have fun with that one if you're a patron. And that's it. We are done the Dutch door. So now we just need the weekly layout. Aha, did you like that? I just think it gets a bit boring watching me do that over and over again every month. So it's a simple grid of 6 squares on each side, and I just use 1 square for both weekend days. And yeah, I love setting up 2 weeks at a time because I don't always have the time to do journal prep as I move through my month. Very simple, but I think quite beautiful October layout with lots of nice autumn colors in our pattern. And as I came back and looked at this one that I had created about a week ago, I was like, I need to add those purple lines to these asters as well. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Remember, we had a little contest last month. The name of the winner is pinned in a comment at the top of the comments section. Be sure to drop a comment and let me know if you liked this month's setup. And it's time. It's that time of year where we start thinking about what we're going to do for the 2025 setup. I think I have a theme in mind, but I always love to hear what you think. Yeah, it's for the first time ever. I think I might actually have a theme early. Usually I'm like scanning the comments like, please give me some inspiration. And remember to go grab the coloring page, cover page. That is available to all patrons at the $3 tier. It's only $3 a month to be a patron. And finally, head over to Instagram and give me a follow because I share content there every single day. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon.